The good, the bad, and the ugly with the new Toyota Tundra. Let's talk a bit about each in this video. Here behind me, I have my 2024 Tundra Limited, fully loaded, including the TRD Offroad package, the 3-inch TRD Lift Kit, a variety of aftermarket add-ons, and I've owned this truck for almost 2 years now. Prior to owning this truck, I also owned a 2015 Platinum Tundra, so I have a good array of firsthand experience to form valid opinions on these trucks. Before somebody asks, yes, I'm filming outside in the middle of winter, and yes, my truck is filthy. So let's get right into it and start with some of the good things about the Toyota Tundra. One good thing, in my opinion, about this truck is the overall appearance and design. I do think Toyota did a really good job at designing this new generation Tundra. I love all the lines this vehicle has. I love the way it stands, especially with the setup that I have on it. Overall, I'm super satisfied with the appearance, and every time I look back at the truck after I park, I'm just very satisfied with my purchase. So definitely a good thing about this truck. Another really good thing about this truck is all the technology that Toyota added with the redesign. Obviously, the old generation was pretty outdated in terms of tech, so they were really due to add in a lot of modern technology that other manufacturers had in their trucks at the time that this one came out. But overall, with the design and the features you get, I think they did a really good job. Obviously, we have the huge screen up front, which is definitely one of my favorite features of the technology package of this Tundra. The fully digital rear view mirror that is optional to have on or off. I've mentioned in previous videos, I have this thing on 24/7 because it's just such good quality and I love looking at it compared to the normal mirror. The different connectivity you get with Apple CarPlay, etc., the JBL sound system. Overall, I'm just very pleased with everything they put in this new generation, especially on the fully loaded limited package that I have on my truck. Another good thing about the Tundra is the overall drivability. They made this thing really fun to drive. The engine, like it or not, has a really smooth transmission and a lot of get up and go compared to other trucks I've tested on the market and compared to the previous generation Tundra. So regardless of any issues that are bad or ugly that we'll get into, it is pretty fun to drive, and the drivability and the experience you get owning the vehicle is pretty good. Another good thing about this truck is the capability you get with it. Now, obviously, being a truck and being 4x4, across the board in the truck market, a lot of those capabilities are going to be the same. But the specific things that Toyota does well, such as the TRD Offroad package and the elements you get there, the optional TRD 3-inch lift kit, which I think was a great feature that they added that you could get from the factory, which I did on this truck. Some things like that put it a little bit over the top for me in terms of capability, and I think Toyota did a great job and continues to do a good job with the offerings and features in that category. Another good thing about this truck is the luxury features that you can get, and also the features that you get standard at certain MSRPs that actually have an edge on competition based on what I've seen. Like I mentioned, my Limited is fully loaded. It has every feature you could have gotten. So I am a little spoiled in here with the heated wheel, the heated and cooled seats, the panoramic sunroof, etc., etc. But I've been very pleased at what I've gotten, and comparatively, if you look at equal price points across competition in the truck market, Toyota does take the edge in several categories based on my experience on what you get for the MSRP. I remember going to the auto show in the Twin Cities last year and sitting in all the different new trucks that were coming out that year, and still the Tundra, which I had parked outside, impressed me the most based on what you got for the money versus the money that they were asking for the same trucks in all the different categories. Now, one thing that might sway that a little bit is that other manufacturers do sometimes offer a greater depth of discount off MSRP than Toyota does. So if you're looking at rock bottom deal versus rock bottom deal, then other competition might edge it out for sure. But overall, I've been very happy with the truck, and I could go on about more good things about the truck. As I do really like it, I'm going to continue to keep it and drive it, and I don't regret my purchase. But with that said, there are some bad things about the truck, and even some ugly things. Let's get into that. One bad thing about this truck that a lot of people think, including myself, is the lack of a V8 option they now have. Obviously, the old 5.7 V8 is a legendary engine. Everybody loved it. It was one of the greatest truck engines of all time, and now it's gone. A lot of people in the Toyota community and truck world in general do not like that, and a lot of other manufacturers still have V8 options you can get when you build and price their trucks. So will Toyota ever bring back the V8? I don't know, but it could definitely be viewed as a bad thing, and honestly, I agree. I think it's a bad thing. I would love to see a V8 option. If this had a V8 option when I built and priced it, I would have done it. I would have bought it. Along the same vein of not offering a V8 engine is another bad thing about this truck, and that's the MPGs. You know, this new twin turbo V6 was supposed to be so much better in miles per gallon than previous generations because of the change and everything, but I'm averaging about 14 MPGs in this truck. Granted, obviously I have the lift kit and 35-inch tires, but I also had that on my previous Tundra with the 5.7, and the MPGs were not all that different. Speaking with other owners of this new generation Tundra as well, they've had similar experiences where the MPGs they're getting are not as high as advertised, and they're not sure what Toyota is trying to promote in terms of these high 20 plus miles per gallon that you can see with this truck. Another bad thing about this truck are some of the gimmicks that I've experienced in terms of wind noise on the driver's side mirror when you're going at speeds above 50-ish miles per hour. The rear window, when it's rolled all the way down, mine rattles a bit in the encasement, and you can definitely hear that while driving. I recently had an issue with the rear seat not fully latching the back that comes down. I could not get it to latch, and the thing was stuck. I had to get in there and fix that a little bit, and just some of the latches have been kind of finicky. In these colder temperatures, I've noticed some noise coming from the engine bay, and based on my understanding, it appears to be a loose heat shield that I'm going to have to tighten back up in order to make that rattle go away. So obviously some of these things are minor, some are not, some could be pretty annoying, but overall with the price of this vehicle, right, high $60,000, $70,000 truck new, you don't want those kind of gimmicky things, right? You want it to be seamless out of the gate. Now, nothing's going to be perfect. No manufacturer is perfect, but a couple things Toyota could definitely do better, and it's a bad thing about the truck. Well, you all knew it was coming to this. There's some ugly things about this truck, and I'm not talking about appearance. I'm talking about the recalls, right? We had the first round of recalls on 2022 and 2023 builds because of the machining debris stuck in the engine in the manufacturing process. Now, granted, thankfully Toyota was making it right and replacing all the engines. I know I have a few videos on my channel talking about this. If you're interested in hearing more of my thoughts, go check them out. But then obviously recently this has been expanded into the remaining 2023 model year vehicles and into the 2024. Actually, the cutoff is about a month before the build date of my truck. So as of now, mine is free from the recall, but maybe I'd almost want it to be part of the recall so I can run this engine into the ground and just get a new engine on Toyota, right? I'm not sure. Overall, definitely an ugly thing about this truck, and the continued recalls expanded. Who knows? Maybe it'll get expanded again. We don't have a remedy for a lot of this stuff other than just a full engine replacement because maybe there's some debris in the engine. You can sort through the forums. There's definitely a variety of people that have had engines blown while driving, and that none of this is good stuff with Toyota, right? Obviously, they have a long-standing reputation of being a super reliable manufacturer, and overall, I really, really like this truck, and I want it to be perfect and reliable, but I don't have that much confidence in the reliability of this engine at this point, right? So far, mine's been good. Like I said, I've owned the truck for almost 2 years and driven north of 25,000 miles, but that should be very, very, very young for a Toyota, and I should not be seeing any issues until 100, 150,000 miles, right, where I would have to make a repair at that point with the engine based on experience with previous generations in the history the company has. So this is definitely my ugly thing about the new generation Tundra, is all the problems and the recalls on the engine, unfortunately. Overall, guys, like I've mentioned, I do love the truck. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm going to continue to drive it. I don't regret my purchase, but those are definitely some of the things that I think are good, bad, and ugly about this new generation Tundra, whether it's 2022 or the 2026 is coming out, right? Hopefully those are done with the ugly problems, but we don't know. We don't know how deep this manufacturing problem goes. We don't know if it's more than just manufacturing or something they haven't fully released yet. Time will tell. I still have confidence in Toyota. Like I said in previous videos, I'm glad they're making it right. It's much better that they're releasing the recalls, making it right, replacing the engines, than just leaving it in the dark and letting people have their trucks fail, right? So there's always a silver lining, but we got to be able to get back to having Toyota and the Tundra in that positive view in the public eye in the Toyota world, so that we can have generations of Toyota Tundra to come, right? Overall, guys, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you agree with me or disagree with me about any of the things I've said in this video or additional things you want to list out down below. I read through the comments. I try to respond when I can. I appreciate your guys' engagement. And now I'm going to go stick my hands on that heated steering wheel and warm up. See you guys in the next one.